Our senior insider Shams Charania reporting that the Kings are open to trade talks surrounding De'Aaron Fox. Now, the all-star guard is set to hit free agency in the summer of 2026, and Shams reported that Fox has, quote, not shown a willingness yet to commit long-term to Sacramento here. So with the NBA trade deadline just over a week away, the clock, it is ticking down for any potential deal to come together here. So let's bring in the aforementioned Shams. You reported this news. How are teams reacting now that they know that Fox could be available here?
Malika, the Kings have received dozens of phone calls and offers in the last 30 hours since I reported this. But here's the most important thing to know. I'm told the San Antonio Spurs, according to league sources, are De'Aaron Fox's targeted preferred destination. And San Antonio is among the interested teams in Fox. This is someone that has a massive market right now. He's jumped to the top of the trade landscape ahead of the February 6th NBA trade deadline. He's in the prime of his career. He's a max contract player. These types of deals don't happen overnight, though. So the Kings are going to have to balance potentially finding the best offer for him right now when he has a year and a half left before his deal expires, or the inevitability of a trade in the offseason. And if you're an interested team, like the Spurs are, De'Aaron Fox might also have that same interest in you. Here is your chance to potentially get a game changer.
8 days away from the NBA trade deadline. This is your busy season, Shams. We'll let you get back to work. We appreciate you stopping by here on NBA Countdown. Thank you so very much. So De'Aaron Fox has been one of the best late-game players in the league over the last few seasons. He's ranked in the top 3 in made field goal percentage in the time over the last 3 years. If you just look at clutch time here, that includes this season where he is tied for first with Jason Tatum. So really it was only a matter of time before a player said, hey, you know what? I want to go to San Antonio. I want to play with Victor Wembanyama. But, Richard, is that the best place for De'Aaron Fox?
I think it's a very, very good place. I still think that even when you add De'Aaron Fox, to me, I think Wemby still might, he can be a top 10, 15 player in the next, season or two. And then that really gets De'Aaron Fox right to the age of 30. That's why I'm a little nervous about, again, giving up a player like Castle, who's actually on the exact same age timeline, in my opinion, as Wemby. Are the San Antonio Spurs better? 100%. Is that a good place? Will they be? But that's not going to move to the needle.
Well, let's say they do it without
place.
Castle. If they can do it without Castle, would you do it?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Perk?
Look, wherever De'Aaron Fox goes, it's going to be a serious upgrade, okay? He's an all-NBA caliber player. All right, he's one of the most clutch players that we've seen over the last couple of seasons. Here's the thing. We're going to let Sacramento Kings off the hook. What's going on over there? A disaster. That's what's happening in Sacramento. You gave up, you traded Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, you drafted him in the lottery, so you picked a side. And that was De'Aaron Fox. Now, all of a sudden, a guy that could possibly be the face of your franchise for the, probably next 6 or 7 years, he's ready to leave. You just fired Mike Brown,
brought in DeMar.
You brought in DeMar because you wanted to win now. You fired Mike Brown. Doug Christie is 11-4, I believe.
Not too bad.
And your franchise guy won out. De'Aaron Fox is an upgrade anywhere he goes. But Sacramento, this is ridiculous.
It's good to... Sacramento.
We are on air, Richard.
Sacramento is Sacramentoing.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Sacramento.
There we go. I know.
Can you explain for someone who might not know, what does that mean?
That means that they had a 16 or 17-year stretch where they did make the postseason. They brought in Mike Brown, who was a coach of the year, and then 2 seasons later, he's gone, and now everyone's jumping ship. And so now it looks like Sacramento is Sacramentoing.
You guys know I have another life, right, covering the WNBA, played in the WNBA. And this is giving me, like, the last week of the LA Sparks and the Seattle Storm, the importance of that number 2 pick, or do you bring in Kelsey Plum? Do you bring in an all-star to try to make a push for the playoffs, or do you get rid of that pick? And now, that pick is different because that meant if you kept it, you're developing around a young core, right? Similar situation, obviously a different league. I do think if I'm De'Aaron Fox and I'm looking at my next 12 years, he's someone that plays explosive, he plays fast. Pairing up with Victor Wembanyama is a dream. He just fits. He fits, especially with them trying to bring a little bit more experience around him. But most importantly, it shows that stars around the league are paying attention to San Antonio. And stars around.
You broke the news on our show yesterday that the Sacramento Kings, they're open to trade talks surrounding De'Aaron Fox. Fox, he's 27, has 1 year left on his contract before he hits free agency. That's in the summer of 2026. And Shams reported that Fox has, quote, not shown a willingness yet to commit long-term to Sacramento. So there's some questions here. Whenever we have trade questions, that's when we bring in Mr. Money Moves, Bobby Marks, who has the answers here. So Shams, he's reporting that this has caused some ripples, right? We've seen throughout NBA circles. But one team that has come up over and over again seems to be the San Antonio Spurs here, Bobby. So let's play some hypothetical. How would a Fox trade to the Spurs even work here?
Yeah, Malika, they're the bingo board of draft assets, young players, tradable contracts. They basically have a little bit of everything. And I think when you look at San Antonio, it certainly starts with a player like Stephon Castle. That is the prize rookie, if you are Sacramento, that you would want in this trade. And then when you look at it, trying to make the money work, a player like Keldon Johnson, a nice young player that's got multiple years left on his contract. I think the biggest thing is the draft assets. They've got 12 first-round picks over the next 7 years, 9 that be can traded. And if I'm Sacramento, I want those Atlanta picks. I want the Atlanta pick in 2025. I want the Atlanta pick in 2027. I even want that Chicago top 10 protected first in 2025. And when you look at it, that deal works, and that accomplishes everything that Sacramento is looking to get. A young player in Castle, draft picks, 3 in the next 7 years, and certainly Fox goes to San Antonio.
Okay, so Shanae, is De'Aaron Fox the best fit for Victor Wembanyama here?
May not be the best fit, but it's pretty close to it.
Okay.
If you're thinking about the runway for success for Victor Wembanyama, as a point guard, De'Aaron Fox comes pretty well close to it when it comes to being a running mate. 27 years old, averaging 25 and 6 assists. He matches what they're trying to do, particularly when it comes to athleticism and pace of play. And most importantly, he has experience playing with a talented big already. Playing with Domantas Sabonis, someone that's a double-double. We all say that, Wemby is like, 20, 10, 5, and 5, and 5, and 5. Like, he has experience knowing how to defer in moments where his guy can eat. So I do like this pick and this fit. And I think it really says bigger than everything else, that stars want to play with Victor Wembanyama. You've seen his maturity, how he gets up for big games, that everyone can complement his style, especially with him shooting threes. That is the big takeaway here. He has made San Antonio, after a while, become a destination again. And I think that's something to keep your eye on for years to come. What? What you talking about?
I disagree. That is not the best destination for De'Aaron Fox. The best destination is the Denver Nuggets. And look, you know what? I'm not the only person that feel that way. Richard did yesterday.
Previously on NBA Today.
It pains me, America, to bring up Kendrick Perkins in this moment. It absolutely pains me. But Perk talks